Hello YouTube modeling community. Mike here, Mike's Miniature Motors. Just wanting to do the answer to Chris's at CD Scale Models question of how did you get into modeling? You know, similar to everybody else's answer, but probably my largest influence is my older brother. I got two older brothers, one that's 10 years older, one that's 6 years older, and the one that's 6 years older, you know, have model cars. But let me start at the beginning. My oldest memory of models in the house. My dad was stationed in the Philippines, and my brothers would build ship models, and they would get the the small, I call it a wading pool, little kiddie pool that you can buy for your kids. The plastic ones, they would put a garden hose in it and on the edge of it so that it would swirl, create a swirling current. They would build, each one would build different color ships. You put them in there, the current would cause them to go in a circle, and they would get their BB guns and shoot each other's ships. I was too young to be messing with that, but I remember watching it, and it is what it is. We moved from the Philippines to Washington State, and my oldest brother, he wanted to be like my dad. My dad was a pilot for the Air Force, and for 28 years. And my brother wanted to follow my dad's footsteps. So he built a lot of planes, and his bedroom was in the basement, and I always remember going into his room and looking at the ceiling, and he had a bunch of planes hanging up there. I always thought that was kind of cool. I don't really remember any other models from my brother that's 6 years older than me until we came back to San Antonio. Anyway, moved from Washington to San Antonio. My dad got stationed in South Dakota, but the parents built a house in San Antonio right after I was born. Anyway, kind of getting off subject. When we moved back to San Antonio, I can always remember my next older brother having cars on shelves in his room. Especially, I remember he had a lot of Tom Daniels stuff. What's up that was really cool. Then my older brother, like I said, he was 10 years older than me. He left when I was in elementary school. My next older brother, I remember playing with his cars and getting in trouble. When we moved to San Antonio, I inherited a lot of those plane models. Both my brothers had the Cox airplanes that you had on the string, and they would fly in a circle. And I would kind of emulate that, wanting to be like them. And they would put string on the plastic models, and I would spin them around as a kid. And of course, they wouldn't land very well because they were plastic and they'd bust up. But I can remember doing that and watching them. We lived on parents had a house on a cul-de-sac, so my brothers would fly their planes up there. I remember they had the cars too that weren't on string. Anyway, that's getting off subject. The first model I built, I don't remember exactly what it was. I know most people say, "Oh, you always remember your first," but we went to go see my dad in South Carolina. I remember going to the the garden center and the toy center were usually in the same building on base. I remember it was a white, and I want to say it was maybe a Porsche 917. I don't remember if it was Aurora or who made it, but I remember my brothers cutting the parts off. My next older brother cutting the parts off a tree, and then I got to glue everything together. Mom just wouldn't let me handle a blade at that time. I was going into high school. My next older brother, was already out of the house, getting ready to get married. Didn't have a whole lot in common with him, but I started building model cars. I'd probably say maybe my sophomore year in high school. So I would have something in common with him, something we could talk about. And then my best friend, which very few people can say this, is still my best friend today. You know, he knows more about me than my wife does. Um, his younger brother built models as well. So I had somebody that was the same guy that helped me with that Ferrari 275 on the Throwback Thursday that went to work for the Harley dealership. He built models as well. So I had that in common with him. After high school, moved to Waco. My dad said, you're not going to be coming home every weekend. You know, even though it was only like 2.5 hours away, you can come home once a month, he would tell me. So my second semester in Waco, I went to the library, opened up a phone book, and found out there was a hobby store in Waco. Figured out where it was, went to it one Saturday, walked in, and discovered my first scale auto enthusiast. And I was like, wow, you know, this is really interesting. You know, seeing other people's builds, which were far beyond my level at the time. And I remember going to the back of the book, and they would have coming events. And saw that there was a show called the Southwest Challenge on there, in there, and made a note. It was still several months away. But when the time came, Dallas was about an hour and 15 minutes from Waco, and hopped in the car, full tank of gas, $20 in my pocket, and went to that show, and was completely and totally blown away. And the rest is history. From that point on, I think that's probably when I got to be what I would say a serious modeler. You know, wanting to go from just I would say a weekend builder to this is a really cool hobby. You know, I want to do this, and that's when I started to pursue you know, learning so much more about it. You know, ordering the back issues of Scale Auto that I could, and so on and so forth. Anyway, guys, that's probably about, hopefully this didn't go on for too long. That's kind of the gist of it, but just wanted to share. There's a lot of y'all sharing out there, and those of you that are just thinking about it, I encourage you to do it. That is, share it. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to take any more of your time. Hope this answered some questions for some of y'all, especially Chris. And y'all take care. God bless, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye.